Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today we are combining a knitting project time-lapse with a more conversation-based video style. Some of you have been really vocal about liking when I knit or talk or crochet while I'm talking to the camera because it's like nice and relaxing and chill, but that only works out when I'm super confident in the stitch or pattern that I'm using, because otherwise I stop what I'm doing non-stop and can't really get coherent thoughts out. I didn't really plan on this video being a combination of the both. Originally I was just planning on doing a time lapse, but throughout the process of making it, there was just a bunch of stuff running through my head that I really wanted to talk to you guys about and what just happened to my English? That I really wanted to talk to about with you guys. Oof. Oh, we're off to a strong start. I just wanted to share it because I feel like it's something that I've seen crafters like in Facebook groups talking about, and I don't think it's like a secular thing that only I have gone through. So let's jump in and start talking about the project itself and what I'm working on before we start talking about feelings and thoughts. The yarn I'm using is Violet Beauregard DK from Fiber Seed. It's so pretty. It reminds me of blueberry ice cream because there's these really pretty purples and midnight blues, and it's just like splashes of blueberry everywhere, and I freaking love it. The yarn is so nice, and the owner is very nice on Instagram. And I'm working on a pattern, I want to say it's called Reina. I hope that's how you pronounce it. It's free. I'm going to be linking it in the description below. I really like this pattern. It was really, I'm not going to say it was really easy to work up because I did have problems with it, but once I got the hang of it, it was really easy to work up, and I really like that she had a row counter added to her PDF. That was just, that made everything so much better. I bought this yarn almost 2 years ago at a yarn market. It was my first time going to a yarn market. It was my first time buying really nice handmade yarn, and I bought a few skeins that day from both Fiber Seed and a few other sellers, and I love those yarns. And this is where we're going to start jumping off into like the more introspective side. I get obnoxiously thoughtful about yarn and handmade things, so I hope you have some tea ready. If you're not yarny, I think this does apply to other hobbies. It's just that I'm going to be talking from my perspective of using yarn, but it does translate well to other like materials and hobbies, in my opinion. Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen my office tour, or you don't know me as a person, I have a lot of yarn. I have a really good size stash. I purposely bought a lot of yarn because I used to make a lot of orders and sell my handmade goods, and my stash is mostly big box acrylic yarns, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like a lot of the yarn that I have, whether it's like $3 or $30. And the point of this video isn't to say like big box yarn is bad. That's not where I'm trying to go. I like working with the yarn that I have, but I have a special shelf with my fancier yarns that have been gifted to me and that I bought for myself, that I will just occasionally go in and pick them up and look at all of the beautiful colors and feel the texture, and then I put them down because I'm scared to use them. I'm scared to mess up a project, and I feel like I don't deserve to use nice yarns if I'm gonna mess them up. There's a lot to unpack in that statement, but we're not gonna get all of that done in 10 minutes. I don't think we'd get that done in several years of therapy, but let's just chip away at the iceberg. So I've been crocheting for over 12 years, and I've been knitting for like 6 or 7 years. I don't know. I feel old saying that. I don't consider myself an expert in either one of them because I've always preferred really simple patterns that I don't have to put a lot of thought into. I like to craft while I'm watching TV, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I felt like that's not the kind of yarn that you, or like, that's not the kind of project that you use really fancy yarn in. Obviously, you totally could, but I wanted to do something different with that yarn, but I never made an effort to do anything different. Even though I just like to multitask and relax, I've taught several people over the years on how to get started with the basics. I'm really comfortable with both of them as hobbies, and I used to like sell and rely on both these hobbies for money to like buy groceries and to not pay bills, but like to make ends meet, basically. And so I was just afraid to use the nice yarn. The nice yarn is more expensive. The nice yarn had more thought put into it because it was made by hand. It was made by an individual person and not a big box company. And I let that stop me because I just put it on a pedestal in my head. At the end of the day, it's yarn. It's twisted up fiber that is waiting to be used. So I asked my friend if she had any ideas on what I could do with my nicer yarns. She is just like a yarn goddess, and she does amazing things with like all kinds of yarn, and she does these really complex patterns. I could gush about her knitting all day. It is fantastic. So she started assigning me patterns, and I was just going to make some light-hearted videos about that and just time-lapse it. Like, this is the first one, obviously. And I was so scared of messing up. I just procrastinated the hell out of this video. The first reason of procrastinating was not my fault. I will not take responsibility for it. I didn't realize that... Okay, so I scheduled like half of a week to start this project and did not realize that I was PMSing the entire half of that week because my period had the audacity to start early like some sort of audacious floozy. I had to look up in a thesaurus to find a nicer word for what I really wanted to call it. I'll let you connect the dots. So my executive function was just really bad. Then Sunday night, the day before I was supposed to edit the video, I realized I didn't have needles in the size that I wanted or that I needed for this pattern, and then it just became a whole thing. And so I didn't even get the needles to work on this project until the day before the video was supposed to go up. So I got over my ovaries imploding, and then I got over not having the needles because I found a set and then also purchased a new set because I needed a longer cable. I don't like using just the straight needles. I really like using double pointed, even if I'm not double pointed, circular needles. Even if it's not a round project, I just feel like I won't lose the needle that way. So I finally start the project Monday and just decide that the video is not going to go up that week because just literally no way to make it happen. And I just started working on it a bunch, and I messed up a lot. I kept getting confused about knitting into the yarn overs, and I got very confused with the entire mesh pattern because I did not read it carefully 3/4 of the way, and it got super wonky. And so basically I was doing the thing that I was absolutely terrified of doing. I was messing up really nice yarn with a fancy pattern, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. The world didn't explode. My math teacher didn't crawl out of the air vent to scream at me to do 100 multiplication problems in 60 seconds. No one called me stupid. No one called me dumb or lazy or any of the nicer, the not nice things that in my head I was telling myself I was if I messed up a project. I wasn't even telling myself these things. Like, that's really good progress on my end. I just messed up, and I noticed when I found this super wonky shaping where I had started to do it correctly, and so the entire thing had to come undone. I know there are a lot of people that do not like watching things be picked apart, especially when they've watched a lot of effort go into them. But the chaotic monkey in my brain absolutely loved filming the frogging process of this project. So, yeah, I messed up and nothing happened. I still have the yarn and I restarted it right after I finished filming this video. And it's coming out so much neater, and I really made sure to read the mesh part correctly. I am not missing the increases, and everything is just going so well. I don't think I'm gonna be posting another video about this project because I don't want to film it again. But my conclusion is, if there's something that you want to be working with and you're scared to, but you can afford to do it, just go for it. Just go for it. Anyways, I hope you are enjoying today's video. Do the thing. Leave me a yarn emoji in the comments below. Please hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days.